We've just driven for 10 days through 5 states, doing over 2,000 miles to see, can we road trip this EV, and do we keep it or do we sell it? And what was the trip like, Max?
A complete disaster.
So after talking to him for 10 minutes, we didn't really know what he was on about. They've now transferred me to roadside assistance. But I think this is going to be a broken car.
Very good.
Yeah, but I'm in a lot of pain. I feel sick now. Still move it, just nothing's broken.
Are we at the end or are we at the start? 129 beats per minute from my heart. Anywhere with you is where I long to roam. Night or day, I'm taking you all the way. 'Cause my heart screams, let me carry you home.
Well, it's the day before, isn't it, Max?
The
We're
day
about
before.
to set off on our journey tomorrow morning. It's now 6:15, the day before. So to get everything packed up in the car for our long journey. Yeah, 2,000 miles over many states, over 10 days, as you saw in the intro. We've never done a road trip before. I have a few concerns. I don't know about you. Do you?
Yep.
What are your concerns about it?
Then we're going to get stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
With no battery.
With no battery.
Yeah, we've never, I mean, when we got 2 electric cars, we got it for a reason, that we got the Tesla as one of them, because we thought if we're going to road trip, we can only really road trip in the Tesla, can't we?
Yeah.
We can't do it in the non-Tesla, well, they aren't, it uses the CCS connectors, because even though we get free electric with ours, they've been breaking down all the time, the connectors.
Yeah.
They haven't got the infrastructure, basically at the end of it. This, in theory, does, but I have a few concerns. We have put the route into the software, into the programming software, and that kind of gives us the stops for tomorrow. But we're not going to follow the route exactly, are we?
No,
Because the route takes us up the I-4,
we don't want to do
and
that.
we don't normally do that. We were going to go on the ring road around Orlando, and we're going to go on the ring road around Jacksonville.
Yay!
Yeah, to Jack's Beaches, and your
Yes.
big bridge, which again is a big battery depleter.
Yes.
And you go over that bridge. So I don't know if the predictions here are going to be the same as what it's saying now, the actual against the predictions. It is saying it'll take about 40 minutes longer than if you would be driving with the stops we have to do. But basically you just go on the phone, you say where you're going to, it tells you based on what time you set off and the battery charge, how many stops you're going to have to do. So we got that to worry about, about it not being accurate. Second thing is there's been a lot of vandalism of the chargers, haven't there?
So I've heard.
Yeah, so people have been going in and cutting the cables for copper. So we're going to get to a charger and
There might not be any.
there might not be any left. So this is an evaluation trip on the car to say, can we road trip this? Because we have a few other road trips we want to do.
Yeah.
And they aren't going to be as easy as this one. Because
No.
this one is up and down the interstate.
Yeah.
And the ones we want to do are way off the interstate. And as we found when we were in Dallas, there's not a lot of chargers.
Not on the back roads.
Not on the back roads, which is the roads we want to go on. So yeah, we will take this for the next 10 days, as you're going to see in this vlog. We'll take this car up, we'll live it day by day, and then when we get back, as you saw at the beginning, we'll give you our honest opinion of, and it really is, it's no clickbait, will we keep the car?
Oh, will we get rid of it?
Will we get rid of it and get a hybrid, something that's going to let us travel more freely? Or is the infrastructure there so we don't have something to worry about? So I'm a little nervous, but excited. Fun for tomorrow. One thing as well we've never done before is doing a road trip is we've packed a lot of things that we don't normally pack. We've packed a lot of the snacks, drinks and crisps and things. They're the things we normally end up buying in a hotel, aren't they?
Yeah.
But because we've got a car, we can take it all with us.
Pack it all in.
And pack it all in. So we're going to put, apart from our suitcases, 10 days worth of clothes, we can put shoes and coats and snacks and things, which is really cool to be able to have the space to do that, just in case the weather.
Pillows as well.
Are you going to take your pillow?
Probably.
Going to take your pillow as well, yeah. So we'll pack all that up. Tonight I've got the car plugged in already, but I'm going to charge it to 100%. In that app, I said we'd leave at 8 a.m. See if we get up for 8 a.m.
We will.
At 100%, which will get us there about 5:30 with 3 stops.
Yeah.
That is the plan. So we're going to let this charge overnight because it's cheaper electric for us to charge overnight. So by tomorrow morning, it should be good to go. And the reason we're doing this intro now is we really won't be with it at 8 o'clock in the morning.
We'll
You'll see
asleep.
when the camera comes back on again. We're not morning people, are we?
We might have had some coffee by then.
Yeah, but our goal is to get up early, get on the road, and do that first trek tomorrow, and I'll put a picture in here, which is going to take us up to Fayetteville, North Carolina. We have a hotel booked. It's going to be about 8.5 hours. It's where we normally stop, isn't it?
Yeah.
And actually, they've built some Tesla chargers there at the destination near the hotel.
Oh, wow.
Because you need to. Oh, I need to put a rag in there because I've also heard
They get hot.
that they get hot, and if we need to put some water in and a rag to wrap around the handle. We've been watching all these channels if so it doesn't overheat on the charging cables. But yeah, we're going to go to Fayetteville, and they have superchargers there, because the other thing as well is you want to charge when it's warm. And if we park up at the hotel overnight and then charge next morning, it'll take forever. So we want to charge when we get there and eat.
All these things you have to figure out.
I know, there's a lot of things to worry about or think about when you're doing this, but they're not too unsurmountable. You just got to plan ahead.
Yeah.
And we're just going to follow the software, and we're only going to use Tesla chargers. I have adapter for the chargers networks, but we've never signed up for them. So we're purely going to use Tesla superchargers to do this, aren't we?
Yep.
All the way up and all the way back. So we're going to finish getting packed up, and you come join us in the morning when we head off on the road. Well, good morning. It's 7:15 in the morning. Just unplugged the car. We are at 100% battery. I've done a crazy thing. I've just done a software update on the car, which I must say is mad, and I quite agree, coming from an IT background. But there's a lot of changes in this new software that have come in, including routing and navigation. It will give you a percentage bar of how you're doing on your route. And it also gives you alternative routes. I know every navigation system in the world has done that for years, but if you're driving along and it detects a better route, it will pop it up and say, hey, you can go on this route as well. So I thought it was worth doing for that. We've got a whole new display here as well. You know, we have the music, we have the first stop in 2 hours 48 minutes, 185 miles, 14% left in Ewell, Florida. It gives me the navigation up here as well. So I did it on the phone and resent it, and it recalculated. It may stop us in Jacksonville if we don't make it to that Ewell with that percentage, based on how we're doing going on routes, as I say, that aren't the ones that it is thinking we're going to go on in the first place. But yeah, we'll see how we go. By the way, if you ever do a software update to the car, you always reboot it. There's 2 buttons on here. Always do a hard reboot, because it's a computer at the end of the day. So we're going to go in, have a quick coffee, throw the last things in the car, and get underway for our first charging stop to Ewell, Florida. Right, we have just arrived. It is, got here at 10:34, which is exactly the time it said. We got here with 34%, oh no, sorry, 26% battery. I've already plugged it in, and it's zoomed up to nearly 40% because we're getting over 200 kilowatts. This is the stop we normally come off, isn't it? We just got north of Jacksonville. So the route we took is we left home and we went on the ring road around Orlando, and the new software worked great because it gave us the option of picking that and gave me more confidence that we'd make it with the battery, because of the fact that it recalculated and said you're good on the percentage wise. The battery thing was all over the place to start with. It went from 11% to 25%, but I think because we've never used it on a road trip, the battery management system, BMS, hadn't calibrated correctly, and then it settled down about halfway, didn't it, in the 3-hour trip. Good things. I love the new system. I love the new navigation stuff. When we said we were going around the ring roads, it recalculated, like we say, so that was pretty good. It did that and gave us the actual new calculated mileage. We joined the I-4 north of Orlando, away from all the traffic. Near Sanford. Then we went up and joined the I-95. as far as things I like the new displays. As I have enhanced autopilot, and I lasted about an hour and a half with it. It was alright on the quiet roads, but it's just not responsive enough on the motorways when people are diving at you and you're trying to indicate and get out of the way. You know, you put the indicator on and then it's trying to turn you automatically, whereas I like just to indicate and let people know I want to turn. So we had that to get round us as well. Then we went on the ring road around Jack's Beaches, which you love.
Yeah,
That
over the
bridge,
big bridge.
the super big bridge.
Super
Max
pretty
loves
bridge.
that bridge. It's her favourite part of that bit of the journey, isn't it, when
Yeah.
we go around there. It's very busy. Traffic was really busy, and it was mainly trucks in the middle lane.
Yeah, so there's just some people.
Blocking people.
Americans don't like to use the right-hand lane for some
Yeah,
reason.
well, trucks today, wasn't it? Trucks today.
Yeah,
that was-
especially trucks today.
So yeah, that was a problem, and then we came off and said this is where where we came off north of Jacksonville is where we normally stay anyway, and it's only saying we've got 9 minutes to continue the trip, but our bodies need more than 9 minutes, don't they? Because we want some
We need to
breakfast,
walk.
we need to go to the bathroom. We're going to leave this, and it's probably going to overcharge, and then we'll see what it calculates. It should be another 2 stops after this, or was it 3 stops after this? 2 stops.
Two, I think.
2 stops after this.
Today.
But we'll go on refuel ourselves. Well, this is refueling electrons, and then join us back here, and we'll see what it's like when we've grabbed some breakfast sandwich. Oh, and as far as my worry about chargers being full or no cables, mine is the only car in the chargers here, so that's good. That's a good thing. Mine, it is 11 o'clock, so it should be quiet. Let's go inside and let's go to Firehouse Subs and get a Subway. Right, we're done. We're well overcharged. I think it had finished its charging before we even got our sandwiches, didn't we?
Yep.
So we got. I think I misspoke earlier on as well. I think I said it was 8.5 hour trip. It's 9.5 hour trip. Oh, there's a bit busier now, Max. There's 5 cars in.
Few of us now.
Yeah, there's a few cars charging. So we're going to go and reprogram the trip meter calculation and see where it tells us we're going now, because I think we may drop a stop, or I think it'll move us around a little bit. So let's go and see where we're at. Right, we just got back in the car and I cancelled and had it recalculate, and it now says we only need to do 1 stop in South Carolina. If we are wait it charge for another 5 minutes, get it up to 90%, then we can just do 2 stops instead of 3. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Which would mean, so you'll be driving now until 2:39, and then I will take over and do the last stint. So do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Do that and just do one more stop instead of 2. Right, we are here. It's charging at 251 kilowatts, so it's fast, but it's saying we have to wait here 50 minutes if you want to go the whole way. I'm not sure we're going to charge the full 50 minutes. We might go and use the bathroom and get a drink, and then come back and then have a relook at the route, see if we could do another quick hop and stop somewhere to top up, because 50 minutes is a long time to wait, because it must want us to go up to like nearly 100% again. About 200 miles to the next one. All good though?
All good?
Yeah, we're going to have a bathroom break. Okay, we are back. It wants us to be here another half an hour to do the to 100%, which it wants us for just 1 stop. I think we're going to we just changed it, and I think we're going to do an extra hop, an extra top up at Somerton. That would take us, it says 20 minutes, just up to 50%, and then we get at Fayetteville with 15% left. So I think we're going to do that rather than wait here another, actually it's
47 minutes till we get to the next charge.
yeah, it's 50. Yeah, you're right. So It's 47 minutes to get to the next charger, and we'd only just do a quick top and go. So I think we'll do that, yeah?
Yeah.
That'll be the plan. So we'll get underway again. Okay, well, we didn't end up going to that one that we talked about. So what we've learned from all these charging things is you get a guide off that, but it wanted us to go somewhere and it wanted us to charge for 30 minutes when we were there, and we arrived with 50% battery. That made no sense. So Max googled it and found a way of going online and looking where all the well, you did it from the app phone, didn't you? Where the chargers were, and we found one. We kept looking how much percent to be left. We found this one. We get in with 15%, and I think we probably only need to charge here for maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes, which is better than waiting for 30 minutes. So we just got to find that supercharger now at I'll show you now. So where you actually get to the chargers is you go navigate, you go charging, and it'll give you all the chargers that are near here. And we need to get the one in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I think it's that one, which is
now turn right onto Redford Boulevard.
Which is that the one in Cedar Creek? Yes, it is. So it says to get there. So currently we would arrive in 50 minutes with 2% battery.
That's a bit too.
So we're going to let that charge up a little bit. 2 minutes remaining to continue trip, it's saying. So we want to charge it up a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And then we will get there maybe 15%, and then Max will drive the last 50 minutes and we'll get there. So the charging is good, but you've still got to use your own common sense.
Yeah.
Because here we're going to wait for 5 minutes before we would have waited for we've just saved half an hour on the journey by hopping and skipping to faster ones, because ideally you don't want to arrive with 50%, you want to arrive with teens. And I say, if you do arrive with teens, you will get charges up in around the 215 kilowatts. As soon as you get more than that, then it goes to crazy levels. So it's saying we have 2 minutes. Literally, we just backed in. We're going to charge here for 3 or 4 minutes and then get back on the road again for the next 55 minutes, aren't we? Mm-hmm. And off we go again. The other thing the system does tell you as well is if you hit on the actual charger, it tells you how many stalls will be available when you arrive. It tells you the speed. These are the slow ones that we've been avoiding, but because we're going to eat here, we don't mind. And then tells you the busy times, and also give you some pictures of it as well, which is pretty cool. So we knew that last one was going to be a huge one. He said there was like 39 stalls available. So we've still got 16 here. We're going to eat for maybe an hour. So the goal is to get here, and these chargers are right across from a Cracker Barrel, and our hotel is just further down the road. So we will park up here, then we'll go in Cracker Barrel and eat, and once it's fully charged I'll move the car for somebody else, and then we will pop down the road because our hotel is just here. So very handy at all. Right, we're here at the last one. It's pretty full. you can see, but it's every stall is, well, every other stall is taken. For these share the power, the 150 kilowatt, but they share. So most you're going to get is if you're sharing is 75, like we've got here. So it's going to take 40 minutes to actually charge it up. But we're going across there to Cracker Barrel to eat, so we'll leave the car here for 40 minutes and then come back and move it. Because it's on your thing. So it's an hour and 5 minutes actually to charge it, because it was only an 80. You want to take it to 100. So we're gonna max it out here, and then we are going to go to the hotel. So tomorrow morning we'll just play it by ear. We'll set up with a full tank of electrons, and then we'll just see where we stop. We'll bring you with us. So what do you think of today's drive then?
I don't think it's been any much different from normal.
I think time-wise, we were saying it said we get here at 5:20, and we got here at 5:13. So, and when we used to drive up on our own, it was about the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we used to get between 5:15 and 5:30.
Because we used to stop every 2 hours and change drivers and go for walks, so we never charged through. So I don't think it's been any longer. I don't know if that's yours or mine. So this is, I think, what we've done today. We've done 560 miles today. It sounds about right, doesn't it? 56 since the last one. So that's what we ended up doing today, and there's our average energy consumption, whatever that means for everybody. So right, we are going to go and eat in Cracker Barrel. So we've got an hour for this thing to charge, and then we will come back and go on to the hotel and join us tomorrow, and we'll set off on the next phase
Up to
DC. And that's going to be interesting, because today has been pretty easy, because all the superchargers have been, plenty of them, near the interstate. Where we're going tomorrow, there aren't any superchargers near where we're going, and we're going for the weekend. So we're going to have to work out how to charge, and then go around for the weekend, and then charge when we leave. But there's nothing around where we're going to go, so we'll have to work that out as we go. But Maxine just wants a fried chicken, don't you? You're hungry.
It's 5:05.
So, yeah, you've got a hungry face. So we're going to Cracker Barrel. Join us in the morning, and we'll carry on the journey. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Max.
Good morning, Baz.
How did you sleep?
Oh, not too bad.
I was awake since 5.
Well, I was awake at 5,
Yeah.
but you were awake at 2.
Yeah, that's true. One thing that we did find that we didn't factor in was we got sunburnt yesterday.
Yes. Sat in the car.
Sat in the car. We both had steaming faces last night. That's what kept me awake. So let's have a look at the car when we go down. I think most of the cars we've had before here in America usually have like a green strip across, like a sun strip across the top to stop you getting sunburnt. I'm betting the Tesla doesn't.
Don't think the Tesla does.
Yeah, so maybe that's something we're going to look at. So we didn't factor that in. Also, I didn't tell you why we're driving. Number one is we've got a lot of junk to take up for Chloe, her stuff from when she lived with us, that we moved down to Florida. The other thing is it's saving us $1,200 to drive instead. Well, it's $1,200 for the flight. Yeah. Flight was $800 for 2 of us. Car was $400 for rental.
Right.
Plus gas. Now, obviously, driving up, we've got this hotel tonight and the one on the way back to pay for, which are about $100, $120 each. And then we've got the electric to pay for, which we'll track and tell you at the end of this vlog how much it costs us. But we think will still be cheaper than flying up. I mean, the hotels we'd be staying in anyway up there.
Yeah.
If we had a petrol car, we'd be putting gas in it. We'll just assume, even though the electric car should be a bit cheaper, we'll assume whatever we do running around up there would have been the same.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more, because we've had to come back to an airport, wouldn't we? Well, now we're coming back down in the same direction. So we'll see. That's the reason that we're doing the drive as well. Just makes me smile as well. If you've been following our my job thing, I've had this backpack for about, 3-4 years. And how many times we've had to hide this logo. Yeah. When I brought it into hotel rooms, we've had to film shots several times so you couldn't see the logo of the bag. And I ended up, after a year, learning how to position the bag. I almost did that on its face, so you guys could never see the logo. When it was in the back of the car, you go back and watch any of those vlogs, whenever that backpack's with me, it's always out of shot, because I didn't want you to know where I worked. But yeah, I just realised that, seeing that behind us. So we're all packed up. We got some chocolates there for Chloe that we brought in, obviously. Our car is down there. We are at 93% state of charge, which is saying we're only going to have one stop on the way up to charge for about 20 minutes, and we get to Chloe's. but we'd only get back with 10% battery, and we've got to run around the whole weekend. So I've programmed us to go in the nearest supercharger, which is probably half an hour from Chloe's, and we'll do a deep charge there. It's at a shopping mall south of DC. We'll do a deep. Oh dear, I'll find another one. We'll do a deep charge there to get us up, to a quite high state of charge, and then we can just drive around for the weekend, and then we'll probably hit that one on the way back. So we'll drive past drive past it again on the way back, down to our next location after this. But today we're heading up to Falls Church, Virginia, where Chloe lives. It's saying about 5 hours. It's 8 o'clock in the morning now, so we're going to go and get everything set up in the car again to go. What else are we going to say about that? We're going to say we'll stop on the way up for something to eat. We're going to meet up with Chloe. Come join us. And Maxine's going to take the first leg because you don't like driving in DC, do you?
No.
Yeah, she hates the traffic in DC, so she's going to take the first leg. We'll stop off. I think there's a Starbucks at that supercharger. We should get there about 20%. We could go a bit further, and I looked at one further up, but it didn't have a Starbucks. So I think we'll do a Starbucks, their morning brew. Lunchtime, well, 11's is at Starbucks, and then we will head up to a quick. We have to stay in the car at the shopping mall. We can't get out.
I don't think so.
I think you have to stay in the car. That's the rules.
I think it'll need just a quick.
No, I think you can't get out of the car. You have to watch it, every minute on there, just in case. It's very dangerous up there. You can't leave your car. I don't think that's going to work, is it? Right, let's get on the road up to Washington DC. Yeah, so we're checking the car now. As you see, I don't know if you can see, there's no gradient. What's the gradient? What's the word I should use?
I don't know.
There's no tint, no band. Most of them have a band across here. Maybe it's this that's actually cooking us, I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like it's
That's tinted, but this isn't. So we'll have to see about that. I wonder if that's why we got thing. I also brought a spray cleaner to clean all this off to give you a better view, but I've left it at home. So I'll use the windshield washers to try and do the best to keep a clear view for the camera for you. So we are ready to go. We are heading to the supercharger in Stony Creek. That is 2.5 hours away. It will be there with 20%. And yeah, shall we clean the windshield and get on the road? Right, we're here, aren't we?
We are.
Exactly the time we said, 10 to 11. It's actually the Starbucks we always go to, isn't it? When we come from Charlotte, when we drove down, this was always our first point of call.
Stop.
So yeah, and they have a dog park here. I've seen a lot more of those dog parks, haven't we?
Yeah, that wasn't here.
Yeah.
Before.
And neither were these Tesla chargers. We're the only ones here. We are charging. It says it's 20 minutes to continue the trip, but by the time we've gone to the bathrooms and had a Starbucks and a cake, it's going to be more than 20 minutes, isn't it? And then the next leg is, it says if we leave in 20 minutes, it's going to be 2 hours roughly. to get to the next one. That's about right. And then half an hour from Chloe once we've done that one. So we've done it. Oh no, 2 hours 24 minutes, 2.5 hours to the next one. So yeah, so all is good. What we like about the car was the acceleration to jump in and out of traffic.
Yeah, because the traffic is just
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, crazy.
So everybody sits on the outside.
Yeah, and then sits nose to tail. What we don't like is phantom braking. How many of you had today?
4.
4. If you don't know what phantom braking is, it's when the car suddenly puts the brakes on for no apparent reason, usually when you're at highway speed. So
you go from like 70 down to 55 in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, which is not good. The only way to get out of it, you can get it, you just push the accelerator and you go, but
Not good for anybody behind you.
No, it isn't either. So yeah, that's not a good thing. We're not liking that. So we're going to go in here and let this charge up, probably overcharge, because what we're charging at 193 kilowatts. Yeah, by the time we've got a coffee and stuff, that will be past the what limit we need. So let's go and get a coffee, shall we?
Yeah.
Right, as I said, the car was finished charging before we were ready. Maxine bought herself a little something, didn't you? If you don't know, Maxine likes Starbucks cups, so you already have a Virginia cup, don't you?
But it's an old one.
Yeah, oh, that's the excuse, is it? Yeah, so she got the new Virginia cup, we'll show you that later on. But yes, we are headed down now. It's 2 hours 25 minutes to get to our next stop, which is just south of Washington, DC, allegedly near a mall, that we'll go and do some charging. So let's get on the road. Right, so we made it. We had a bit of a diversion there, didn't we? Traffic, and Max will put a screenshot in here, was
A nightmare.
a nightmare coming in here. So we actually bailed and went on the back roads, and it was really nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
See a lot of the nice, pretty Virginia homes.
Oh,
Brought back a lot of memories, didn't it, living here again? But we're here at the mall now. We're going to go, we arrived with 27% charge, actually more, about 4% more, because we went on the back roads. It's crazy. The slower you go, the more efficient an EV is. So we're going to go use the restrooms, get a drink. It says 25 minutes remaining to get to 80%. Yeah, we're just going to do a deep charge here, because Chloe's is, I don't know if we can see, I'll just put her thing in here, 15 minutes away from here. So we need to put a charge in and enough to drive around when we're there. So let's go use the facilities and get back to you just before we leave. Right, well, we just ran across to Target, and by the time we got a drink and you looked at the clearance stuff again, didn't you? 80% charge. So we're just getting a few drinks out the car here. We're going to head over to Chloe's. We'll charge it to about 80-85%. Beautiful to be back in Virginia this weather.
Love it.
Yeah, this weather, low humidity, temperatures are still in the 80s. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Lovely.
Absolutely lovely. So we're going to get charges up to 80, and then we're going to be, today is Friday afternoon. We're going to be running around with Chloe. If you want to know what we get up to with Chloe, tune into a separate vlog where we'll be filming our area when we stay up here around the DC area. And then this vlog will jump back in on Sunday evening when we head back down to our next destination. Oh, one thing before we wrap up, one thing we didn't mention is seats are very comfortable, aren't they?
Really
We were worried about how comfy the seats were in the car. No complaints with the seats at all.
Nope.
And you heard our other thoughts so far on the trip. But charging's been brilliant. Every charge has worked. No hassle.
No hassle.
So we'll get this thing wrapped up and join us on Sunday evening. Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning. It is 11 o'clock. We've just checked out the hotel and we're going to go pick Chloe up to go out for something to eat, which is not ready yet. So we've just run to a supercharger that's 10 minutes north of where we are in Falls Church, because I checked on the route mapping, and for us to get down where we're going to later today to Williamsburg, it is going to, we can do it on one charge. We don't have to stop if we've got 76% battery, and we've just got 74%. We charged last time you saw us, we're up in the mid-80s. We've lost about 10%. We've been driving around yesterday. We're going to do a bit more driving today, so we'll charge up probably into the 90s, low 90s. Just gives us a bit of buffer to run around today, and then we will head straight down to Williamsburg. So join us when we set off. Right, we just got back in the car, haven't we?
We have.
A few hours have passed and things have changed on the roads. It's now 2 hours 43 minutes to we said it was 2.5 hours earlier on. There's now delays on the road. The alternative route is over 3 hours, so we're probably going to stick with the 2 hours one still, aren't we? See if we may have jump off like we did coming down and go on the side road.
Yeah, maybe.
If we can get off, we may navigate that way. It's saying it's 2 hours and 43 minutes, 148 miles, and we are going to have 23% charge left. So we just really left the car here. Been talking with Chloe, having some time with Chloe. It is now going up for 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so our goal is to try and be there by 6 o'clock-ish to charge and then check into the hotel. So we will get on the way to Williamsburg, Virginia. Right, we just got here, didn't we?
We made it, finally.
And we'll see if it's just ramping up. Oh, can you hear it? Yeah, 187 kilowatts, 207, 220, yeah, it's getting up there. So we're probably going to charge to about 80% here, because I'll shut this door, keep the AC running, because of the fact that we're going to be going to the theme parks the next 2 days, running around, aren't we? We're only going from the hotel to the parks and back, so 80% will easily cover that. So you saw it very busy. It was like basically traffic all the way down nose to tail, wasn't it? Which was a pain. Didn't get any phantom braking because I only had the cruise control on for like 5 minutes on the whole thing, because it was nose to tail all the way down, but nothing. We made it down. Actually, the battery gauge was all over the place. When we started, it said we'd have 23%. At one point, we were up to 38, and we ended up with 34, and that's because it was a lot of start and stop on the motorway. So it got the time spot on, but it didn't really, obviously it doesn't know, I guess, when you're braking and not braking. It didn't make a guess at what it would be to manage that. So yeah, but we made it with plenty of battery. We'll shoot it up. It's not charging very well. 171 kilowatts, should be over 200 I would have thought, but okay, we'll see what we can do. Also noticed I didn't have the destination in properly because it wasn't warming the battery up, was it? And then when we said no preconditioning wasn't kicking in, then I put the address in, but it hadn't picked the supercharger up for some reason. So we will see how that goes. We are going to wrap up here, and we'll film a vlog in Busch Gardens. We're going to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, our old home park, aren't we?
Yeah.
For a couple of days. We're really looking forward to that. That vlog will be out around this.
New roller coasters there.
Yeah.
That'll
be out the same time as this. That'll be a separate vlog. So the next time you see us, we will be back at the supercharger, charging up for our next leg in 2 days.
2 days.
Is it 3 days? What are we on Sunday now? I believe on Wednesday, won't we? Wednesday morning. So stay tuned and let's see where we get to on the next leg. Right, we are back here at the Wawa. It is the night before. It's Tuesday evening. I think we left you and we leave them last Sunday?
Sunday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday evening. We're leaving first thing in the morning. We've just left the theme parks. That's why we're all a bit hot and bothered. But you'll see that in a separate vlog. So we're here in the car now, charging again. We had about 50% left. You can see this, I know it's a bit bright on the screen. It's charging at 67 currently, and we are trying to take it up to around 80-85 because we are going to Charlottesville, Virginia tomorrow on the superchargers. And on the navigation app, it tells me how much I will need to get there. So this is what it's showing me, and hopefully you can see that okay. But what it's actually saying is that we need about 70%. We're at 68, and that'll get us there with 13% charge. The car likes to have about 15% as a buffer, so it's going to get us to charge to roughly 70 we'll need, and then we've still got to go out tonight for something to eat and drive around for a bit. So we're going to get it to 80-85, and then that will give us the that'll give us the charge, so we can just leave the hotel straight from the hotel in the morning and head to Charlottesville in Virginia. Maxon will be taking us on that leg, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, you're back with us again because we've just had our first charging problem. It started charging, got to about 20% in. Then we got a message on the phone saying start charging has stopped. Are you aware of this? And what we actually end up doing then was coming and moving to a different charging stall. It keeps trying to start, trying to stop, trying to start, trying to stop. So we'll try a third one, see if that works for us. We'll move to a third charging point, see if that works. But I've tried that one. Tried this one. We're going to go and try and there's some more down there which I didn't see before, the other 3, and we'll go right to the far end and see if one of those works. Just charging stopped again.
Must be these.
Yep, I think we have a problem with these chargers, so we'll have to go and find the chargers at the other end of Charlottesville, the ones near the hotel, and see if we can charge there.
Yeah?
Yep. We have the same problem at 2 different chargers. We may have to call Tesla and find out what's going on.
Thank you for calling Tesla. If you know your party's extension, press 9. For vehicles, press 1. For energy, great. I was able to identify your account based on the phone number you are calling from. For service, press 1. For sales, press 2. For new vehicle deliveries, press 3.
Well, we've been on hold for over 10 minutes to the agents. We tried ringing another number, it took us to exactly the same spot, so we've requested roadside assistance and we're still waiting for someone to review the request for roadside assistance. So this is going well. We did get an error code that came up, a BMS message as you saw, and I've googled it and it talks about being problems with the charging port, so we'll see. And it's trying to charge again, but it's not going anywhere, so we might not be going anywhere. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. When I say two different supercharger stations and 4 separate superchargers, and I get the same code.
Yeah, I see that's it. Charge fail.
Yeah, BMS _ little a174 unable to charge. We've been on hold about 20 minutes, so we've already requested roadside assistance because I didn't know what else to do. They want us to go to Richmond. They can forget that.
That's where it's come from.
I don't know where they're coming from. Just got a message from them.
Oh, from the service center?
Yeah. Roadside assistance.
Oh, from roadside.
Yeah. Or he's saying I've got to drive there, or I've got to call you for assistance. I'm not driving I'm not driving 70 miles when our hotel is here in Charlottesville. But the other option it gives me is to call you.
Oh, you know what? I think I found why it's not. It says that the low voltage battery, or the low voltage system, is unable to get the charge. So it's unable to charge. Okay. You said you tried 2 different stations.
Yes.
Right now, are you in a station?
Yes, we're in the second station, plugged in.
Oh, you're plugged in, but it's not charging?
Correct. No, we're on a road trip. This is a 2,000-mile road trip, so we're not 8 days into it. We're not scheduling. We're all over the country at the moment. So after talking to him for 10 minutes, we didn't really know what he was on about. They've now transferred me to roadside assistance. But I think this is going to be a broken car. But we'll see. Try and get onto roadside. They've texted us back of roadside, and they want us to drive 62 miles back to Richmond to take the car to them to look at, which isn't going to happen. So I need to speak to somebody. It said give them the number and they'll try and speak to me. So after 20 minutes on hold to speak to him, I am now on hold again to try and speak to roadside service. We'll see how we go. Right, so here's the story. I did speak to the lady, as you heard. I was on the call. What happened is this error cannot be fixed remotely, and I have to take it to a Tesla service centre. There's nobody who will come out to me. The nearest Tesla service centre is 61 miles away, just where we came from, in Richmond, Virginia. And I asked what are my options of getting the car towed. They said, well, no, because you're in range, they won't send a tow truck out. It's up to us to get it there. I can get a tow truck, but they won't pay for it. I said, how am I going to get back to Charlottesville tonight? They said, well, I don't know. You'll have to go to the service centre. I said, do you give me a rental car to get back? They said, oh, I don't know. You'll have to talk to the service centre. They can't diagnose it remotely. And now we're on our way, just with enough battery. If I drive frugally, we should get there with about 10% left to Richmond, where we were an hour ago. So
Not happy.
not happy at the moment. We'll see how we go. Right, we are just leaving the Tesla service centre an hour later, not in our car, in a loaner car, because ours is broken and they need to look at it. They did put it on a 110 volt charge and the car did start to charge. So what he thinks the problem is the high voltage contactors that are behind the charging port are not clicking in.
64 west ramp on the right.
Going to Charlottesville again. Like we were there an hour, 2 hours ago. So yeah, he thinks the high voltage relays are not clicking in correctly. They do have the parts in stock if that is the problem, but they have no chance to look at it today, and they're going to look at it tomorrow and then update us through the app, with the goal of having the car fixed by the end of tomorrow, which we need at the end of tomorrow, because we are heading back down to Orlando, or that is the plan. Stay tuned, because we don't know exactly how this is going to work out. But Maxine, you get to drive us back to Charlottesville again.
Yep.
But now we're hitting rush hour, so we'll hit a bit more traffic, I think. But not that we can do, because we have some meetings with friends tonight and some meals booked and everything. So on our way on the road again, anyway. Okay, the time is now 5 o'clock. We finally made it to the hotel.
Yes.
Back in Charlottesville again. Hotel's under some construction, so we can't park out front, but we'll go and get our cases and get them in. Maxine came up with a good idea, which is we've got to get back to Richmond more or less, haven't we, to get back on the to get back on the 95 for our long day on Friday. So what we'll do is, if they finish the car tomorrow, we'll ask them to try and hold on to it, see if they'll charge it. Not sure if they will. And we'll go on first thing Friday morning, drop this off and pick the car up, transfer the stuff and just head straight down from Richmond, instead of going back tomorrow, picking it up, coming back here and then going back to Richmond to get on the 95. So good idea, Max. So join us in the next leg of this, where we will give you an update on the status of the car fix, and fingers crossed we'll still be heading back on Friday. That's the plan.
Hopefully.
Right, stay tuned. Coming number 10, your time is up. Yes, it is a beautiful Friday morning. It is now 8:37 a.m. We are leaving Charlottesville in the loaner, number 10, heading back to Richmond. So we did, yesterday morning I was checking the app all day, because on the app it gives you updates of the car. By lunchtime it just said it was still in service and still expected to be done by the end of the day. I messaged them at lunchtime and said, yeah, it should be done the end of the day. And by 4 o'clock I had a message that the car was fixed, that they were charging it, and it's now sat where we left it with 97% charge for us to pick it up today. Looking at the invoice, there's no charge, and it was those relays, high power relays behind the seat, that had failed. So we're going to get on the road. We're all packed up here. We're going to get on the road to Richmond. Max's idea was right. Why go there, go back, go there, go back? So we're going to go to Richmond, pick the car up, then head down, and the mileage will be right about for the trip, because we actually drive the car all the way to Richmond, and that's where we're going to get on the 95 anyway, south. We have about 8-hour day today from when we get to Richmond, and then we have about 3 stops before we get to our hotel tonight on our way back, which is in Savannah, Georgia, to kind of break the trip up. It's about 500 miles, I think. So we'll get on the road to Richmond. Right, we have our car back. Just need to wipe that windscreen outside actually before we go, so you can get a view out the front. So they said yes, the contactors had fused. Apparently they say it's a safety feature on the car to protect it from over voltage and over current, so kind of blaming the chargers at Charlottesville for that. So we'll see. They had to put new relays in the back. I don't think they have cleaned the car, but everything's sorted. Hopefully there'll be no squeaks and rattles. 0 charges or so on the bill. One thing that was weird is they have a profile with these cars. When you get in, they set up the mirrors, the seats and everything, and based on whoever profile it adjusts it, that's all out of whack. So I thought the seat was at the front. I've had to adjust all the settings again, which is a bit weird, because I thought this was all like cloud-based stuff, but obviously not. Anyway, it's picked up the route for us. We have quite a ways to go now today. It's getting past 10 o'clock. Time is it? 10:10?
10:10.
It's saying the next first stop it wants to give us is 2 hours and 38 minutes. I don't know if we want to go that far, because we've not eaten yet. So we'll go down the road. Again, I'd use these as a guide, and as you go down the road and you're ready to stop, you've got to kind of search for superchargers and decide which ones you want to jump into, which ones would work for you. So we will get back on the road to, well, we're going to stay over in Savannah, Georgia tonight. So on the road to Savannah, Georgia. Right, we're off again. The navigation's still confused. It's telling us to go somewhere else and charge for 0 minutes. But looking at the app on the phone, it says we could make it down with 24% down to Fayetteville and charge there.
Now turn
So I
right
think that's where we're
onto
going to head
St.
to.
John Church Road.
But back onto the 95. Right, we're plugged in and charging. We are back where we were before, across from Cracker Barrel. These thick cables are the 150 kilowatt, and these two stations share the same transformer. So if you ever come into one of these in a car and there's spaces, always jump into the alternative ones. Like these are 8A and 8B, and they're 7A and 7B share a transformer. So if there's two cars here, each of you will only get 75 kilowatts. If it's just one of you, get 150. So just be a gentleman or a lady and make sure you, if you share accordingly. That way everybody gets the highest speed. So it says we only need, it's given us another option here to charge for 10 minutes and then do another quick jump into a 250 kilowatt for 10 minutes and then do the normal plan, which is will save us 10 minutes on the trip. But we need to go to the bathroom, so we're going to have a walk around and we'll see. I'm just going to see what this is set to charging, set to 80, but we'll let it crank on and we'll go have use the bathroom, come back and we'll see where we're at. But it's saying 5 minutes to let trip continue, and we're charging at 145 kilowatts, which is the maximum. The other car's coming in, he'll jump in this gap between us all here, hopefully, and then we'll continue our journey. So we arrived with 16% battery. It was all over the place, wasn't it? It was down at 10, it was up at 20 with the traffic. It says 20 minutes here to remain to get to our next charger, which is the one that is going to give us the overnight boost. It's about 15 minutes from the hotel. There's a grill and a Dairy Queen here, and obviously petrol, so we'll go in and we'll get a bite to eat, or maybe get a drink probably, because we're going to eat when we get there, aren't we? Yeah. Only charging at 166 kilowatts, which is slow. Should be over 200. These are 250 kilowatt chargers, and I'm down at 18%. So I may try another stall and see what we do. So there you go, we just changed chargers. It's not giving full speed here, but we're over 203 kilowatts, 204, whereas we were down at what, 170 before. So it's taken 5 minutes off the charging time. So if you ever come to these and they're not charging at the speeds you think they should charge at, try a different one. Still not where it needs to be. Should be about 250 down at 20%. But yeah, we'll take it. 14 minutes to trip to continue. We're going to go and get a drink. Yeah, these first chargers we've come across are not doing well. Head-on we know wasn't good. This lady next to me tried the one next to it, that wasn't working. There's now 4 of us here, and it's down to 34 kilowatts, so there's obviously a problem with this station, because now our trip charging is taking 10 minutes, to continue because we're only charging at 32 kilowatts. It should be done by now. Keeps going up. Now it's 11 minutes because it's just losing power as this station. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we're going to bail from here because we're only getting 9 kilowatts. It's taking 20 minutes. So we're going to go to another charging station, St. George in South Carolina. It is how far away? 28 minutes away. We're going to go there and do the boost from there because, yeah, we're just not going to get anything here. I'll go and plug when I get on the road.
Yep. Are we good?
Yeah, but I'm in a lot of pain. I feel sick now. Oh. A minute.
Yep.
It's like a hole.
Yeah. Is it your bad ankle as well?
Yep. Still move it, just nothing's broken. Just may have sprained it. Whew. Oh, I feel sick now. Oh, sweating.
Yes, you are sweating.
Okay, now. Ooh. That's going to be a sprain, I think.
In 500 feet, turn left to take the Interstate 95 South ramp towards Savannah. Now turn left to take the Interstate 95 South ramp.
Where is it? Oh, here.
Yeah.
Just before the thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm going up wrong side of the road, but I'm not.
Right, we stopped for a little top-up charge. You see, it's 165 kilowatts. It only needs 3 minutes here, so we're just going to charge a few minutes and go into the next one. I think I may have left the main camera running when I had my accident at the last station. If you don't know what happened, this ankle here, where the grass is, where the chargers are, there was a divot or a hole, like a big hole where a pole must have been, but the grass had grown over it, and it was just big enough for my foot to go in, and I went over on it and I had a crunch. Don't think it's broken because I can move my toes, but it's extremely painful, and I wasn't feeling good when we got back in the car. I just asked Max to run into Food Lion and see. I know I've broken my ankle, this ankle before. I know today's a good day. I know tomorrow will be a bad day. I'll be in pain today, but tomorrow it'll be a lot worse. So I'm trying to go and see if she's got, like, I don't know, those straps that go around, you know, compression things for your ankle to keep it in place, because I think I'll need that to drive tomorrow. So we're going to be well overcharged here by the time she gets back, but that is the current plan, is to get a bandage, take lots of painkillers tonight. What else can go wrong on this trip, eh? And then we'll head down to our final charging spot before the hotel. So this has delayed us again another half hour. So I'll just have a look at the plan. It's saying we would get to the supercharger probably about 7 o'clock. It was 6:45 before, so we haven't done too badly. And then we'll need to charge there for probably 15 minutes, and then we will be good to go the next day. But we'll see what Max comes back with bandages. Right, Max is back. She's got me a bandage, haven't you?
I have.
How much was it?
$5.50.
Yeah, I'm worth it though, aren't I?
Of course you are.
Yeah. And now we're going to head off.
Taking me on the for?
Where's she
From
going?
here.
I think she's confused. Thinks she can't get out on the main road. Back the way we came.
Yeah.
So we're going to head back. We're well overcharged. We'll have 25% now when we get to Pooler, but we've got to do a full charge up there, so it's nothing lost. So an hour and a half, and we'll get to Pooler, do a deep charge for the hotel. Right, we have arrived with 27% battery. The battery was already conditioned. That's why I want to charge tonight before we go, because it was already pre-conditioned, because Maxine's done so good driving. And you see we're already up at 225 kilowatts. So I think we're going to charge about 80% here, and then we'll use the navigation app when we get to the hotel to decide where we're charged tomorrow from our destination at the hotel. He did say one of these chargers was broken, and I think that's what that guy pulled into and is now moved. He did say in the app as well, it did warn us that 2A or 2B was broken, didn't it, out the way here. But we'll swap over and I'll drive the last bit because we haven't got a clutch, so we'll be alright. So yeah, we'll get ready to go for the next leg. So finally, we have made it. Finally, it is now been a long day. It's now 20 to 7, so we've been on the go for nearly 12 hours. We are here with 76% battery. So we're going to go check in the hotel. We got some sandwiches at the last spot, didn't we?
20 to 8, not 20 to 7. 20
to 8, sorry, yeah. We got some sandwiches because it's quite late now for eating. So we just bought some sandwiches at the last charging was going on, didn't we? We're going to go eat those, take our cases up, settle down for the night, and then we'll see how far 76% gets us tomorrow. Join us for the last day, the last leg to get back home, and then we will give you our final thoughts on this trip. As we said at the beginning about our review of the of the EV, and can we keep it for road trips or not? And stay tuned, we'll let you know. Right, and here's the problem with RVs. When we left, it said we'd have 15% when we got to St. Augustine. And this is the first bit of road in the whole journey where there's no traffic. And we're just moving along at highway speeds. And that 15 has now gone down to 8%. So soon I'm expecting it to make us do another stop. Because I think once it gets down to that 8-7%, it will force us to stop again. And that's the problem, the difference between this and petrol cars. Now, petrol cars are their optimum when they're cruising, low revs. This is the worst situation for an EV. But you know, to go from 15% to 8%,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of range change. And I can understand range anxiety. I'm getting anxious now. Not because I know 8% we can make it, but it's going to make me go somewhere else. And we're not even going to go the route it's making us go. We're going to go around the ring road around Jacksonville, which would, you know, change everything anyway.
Yep.
So we'll keep you posted and see where we end up. I can do it. Just need to get these. No, these are 150s max. I'll tell you what, I feel safe here. Yeah, we weren't risking it. It was still saying 8%, but that was going down the 95 and we're going round it. It wouldn't. The mapping system would not give us an option of mapping round it. We tried going the other way and it was dropping it another 4%. So we just ran off here. Kirkland, are we at, Max?
Kingsbridge.
Kingsbridge for a splash and go. We said there were 250s, but they're 150s. What speed we're getting, Max?
128.
Yeah, 150s. For splash and go, just wait here 5 minutes just to give us enough to go around the ring road the other way around. And of course the other problem is because we made the decision at the last minute, like 5 miles away from the junction, the battery didn't have time to pre-condition. So you're getting a good speed here because we're doing the motorway speeds, but all things to consider. You can't just make a decision, say, hey, we're going to jump in this petrol station I can see down the road. You've got to give it 10-15 minutes normally to pre-condition the battery. So, you know, driving an EV, it's fun. Right, here 5 minutes, we have 20% battery, it's saying that should be enough to take us around the ring road and get us to the next hour till we get to Bucky's, St. Augustine. Right, so we're here at Bucky's. I'm glad we did that top-up charge. It didn't give us the option of going round the ring road, did it?
No.
Until about 5 miles from the junction.
Yeah.
And when it did, it then said it was going to use another 2% battery to go around there, so we'd have been way low. So that's part of the challenge of this, is you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So we arrived, we just under 20%. We're going to do a deep charge here to get back, because it said if we charged to 80%, we would be arriving with 5% at home, which is a bit too low for us.
Bit too low.
We like about 10 to 15% buffer. So we're going to go into Bucky's and use the cleanest restrooms, allegedly, in the world, and maybe get some brisket. Last
It is
stop,
lunchtime.
last stop on the road trip, and then we'll get back to Orlando and give you our thoughts. And then just one of the other challenges, it was only charging at 120 kilowatts. These are 250 kilowatt chargers, and it was going to take 20 minutes to charge. We moved 2 stalls up. It's now charging at 223, and we just saved 10 minutes. I mean, there's just no... How many times have we had to do that?
Quite
just
a
move
few.
around, and
Quite a few times.
you know, it's just crazy that
It can change so much.
change so much. You just got to pick the right stall, haven't you? Right, now we'll get into Bucky's. Right, we are filling up on our brisket sandwich and our beaver nuggets, and then we'll get back on the road again. Right, well, we made it back, didn't we?
We're home.
We just got home. On the way back, we called into the walk-in centre, and as you saw on the thumbnail, I had my foot
X-rayed?
evaluated and x-rayed. They thought I'd broken the bone, the
Metatarsal.
metatarsal, and x-rayed it, and here's a picture of the x-ray, but apparently it came out clear. So just a very badly sprained leg and ankle, which I am pretty sure is down to those boots that I was wearing. But yeah, let's do a quick summary of the two of them. We did 2,200 miles, as we say, 5 states, 10 days. Ups and downs of it, I would say if you're ever going to think of doing a road trip in an EV, it's got to be a Tesla.
You've got no option.
Because that's the only place that has the infrastructure for charging. And even as you saw in our vlog, we had challenges with a lot of those chargers not working at the right speed, not working at all.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. The downside of the Tesla ours was actually the phantom braking.
Yeah, that was really scary.
Yeah, because that happened a lot.
4 times when I was driving.
Yeah. And that kind of really put us off a little bit
Yeah.
from that kind of thing. Other things, thinking about the EV experience. The other thing as well was the wipers for you?
Yeah, they were trying to wipe when there was hardly nothing on it. And then all of a sudden you'd get a downpour. They wouldn't wipe.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to be automatic, so I had to do it manually, and
Yeah.
so that really annoyed me.
Yeah, so that was another thing of it. But the other thing that was kind of worrying was when the car broke, it was, according to the engineer, the car was protecting itself
Yeah.
against spikes coming from the electricity, and that got me thinking. I thought, okay, they've changed this bit, so I'm good.
We're good. We won't have to
we won't have to do that
worry about
again. But then it also got me thinking that that could happen any time, because you're relying on the electricity suppliers to be able to give you a good, clean electric supply, and if it's not, then the thing's going to fuse again to protect itself, and you have no control over that. You don't know where that's going to happen and when that's going to happen. And the thing is, as well, is if it does happen, it's not a field replaceable thing. You have to go
to a Tesla
to a
service.
and I think that'd be for any EV, to be honest, not just for Teslas, if you
probably
think
will.
about it. And here's a map. I mean, we were looking at Texas that we wanted to drive around, and yeah, if you're on the east side, good. If you want to be on the west side in the countryside, you're nowhere near any Tesla service centre. So that is a little bit, well, very worrying, because I just think it's the maturity of the hardware is not here yet. But I don't know how else you would do it and protect the car. And what the other overriding thing I got about this trip was you didn't really enjoy the journey.
It was Too much anxiety.
Yeah. It was a little bit like if you remember Disney 10 years ago when you would go and enjoy the parks, and now you're on your phone all the time, checking things, you're anxious and you're checking rides and lightning lanes and all that kind of stuff. In the car, you're always checking the battery level. You're always
Looking
thinking
at it.
and planning around
You're not
charging.
enjoying it.
You're not enjoying the destination, you're planning the recharge.
Yeah.
Or planning the usage of the car.
You're not enjoying the journey, are you?
No. So, you know, we started this vlog by saying, would we keep it or would we sell it? Well, after our experience of, it should have been an easy road trip in an EV, I don't think we'll road trip in an EV again, will we?
I don't think so.
I think we'll be moving to a hybrid, probably a hybrid car
Yep.
for road trips, because for us, it didn't work.
No.
And we may have had a bit of bad luck, but judging by the service centre knowing what had happened and having those spare parts
And not even looking at it.
without even looking at it, it's not an uncommon occurrence. And okay, twisting my ankle, that was one of the things, but that was at Tesla charging station.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have happened if we were doing it at a petrol station, when that thing was put in the grass and they put a big pole in there and took it out and never actually filled it back in again. But there you go. So thank you for watching. I know it's been a long vlog. I think I had over 6 hours of footage that I cut down for you in this one. But that's our real world experience of us and our experience of road tripping a Tesla 2,000 miles. So thanks for watching. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. Put your comments below. We'll try and respond. And we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.